2027 Oscar nomination predictions for the month of May. These are my post 79th Cannes Film Festival Oscar nomination predictions. A lot has changed on my predictions. So, without further ado, here we go. Best Picture: Wild Horse 9, The Invite, Digger, The Black Ball, Project Hail Mary, Fjord, Dune Part 3, Werewolf, Disclosure Day, Coward, All of a Sudden, Minotaur, The Social Reckoning, Toy Story 5, Fatherland, The Odyssey, The Blue Trail, Sense and Sensibility, Saturn Return, and Paper Tiger. I have The Odyssey out of my 10. It is getting eviscerated prior to its release. And so when the film releases, I don't think the reviews are going to be good, and I think the movie is just going to get tech nominations, just like some of Nolan's other previous works, like Interstellar and Tenet. And so the Universal Pictures movie that I think is going to get nomination, the Universal Pictures movies that I think is going to get nominated for Best Picture is Disclosure Day. And I put it in my 10 prior to seeing today that the initial reactions for this movie were extremely enthusiastic. People calling it one of the best Spielberg movies in decades and saying that Emily Blunt's performance was monumental. So, yeah, I guess that justifies me putting it in my 10. And The Black Ball is a new contender that came here to party. Came here to fight. Came here to both fight and party. Yeah, I think The Black Ball is going to be a huge Oscar contender. Best Director: Martin McDonagh, Wild Horse 9, Javier Ambrosi and Javier Calvo, aka Los Javis, the Javiers, The Black Ball, Olivia Wilde, The Invite, Alejandro González Iñárritu, Digger, Steven Spielberg, Disclosure Day, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, Project Hail Mary, Christian Mungiu, Fjord, Paul Palakowski, Fatherland, Ryusuke Hamaguchi, All of a Sudden, and Lucas Don't, Coward. So in my 79th Cannes Film Festival winners reaction video, I said, "Oh, Christian Mungiu's definitely getting a director nomination." I don't think that anymore because I was reacting before I saw the hype for The Black Ball and the lack thereof of Fatherland and the mixed hype that was happening for the mixed reactions that were happening for Fjord. It still won the Palm, and it could do well at the European Film Awards, the EFAs. And so, how to strike the right balance between it's a Best Picture contender, but it's not the top five Best Picture contender that some people, like myself, thought it could be. Yeah, so I took Mungiu out of director, but I still have Fjord in picture. Uh, but yeah, the Javies, the Javiers coming in hot, and yeah, I think Steven Spielberg is going to get a director nomination. Best Actress: Olivia Wilde, The Invite, Renata Reinsva, Fjord, Virginia Efira, All of a Sudden, Mikey Madison, The Social Reckoning, Emily Blunt, Disclosure Day, Rachel Brosnahan, Saturn Return, Sandra Hüller, Fatherland, Daisy Edgar Jones, Sense and Sensibility, Catherine Mallon Kupfer, Mouse, and Hannah Einweiter, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. Again, Blunt's performance in Disclosure Day has been highly touted about in these first wave of reactions. People are going pretty nuts over her performance. So it justifies me putting her in Best Actress. I put her in Best Actress before I saw the reactions today, as of this recording, May 29th. May 29th, 2026. Best Actor: Tom Cruise, Digger, Seth Rogen, The Invite, Ryan Gosling, Project Hail Mary, Sebastian Stan, Fjord, John Malkovich, Wild Horse 9, Adam Driver, Paper Tiger, Hans Zisler, Fatherland, Dominic Sessa, Tony, John Turturro, The Only Living Pickpocket in New York, Charles Melton, Saturn Return. So is John Malkovich gonna get the lead actor nomination, or is what happened to Jamie Dornan, Katrina Balfe, and even Paul Mescal this past Oscar season? Jamie Dornan and Katrina Balfe for Belfast, Paul Mescal for Hamnet. Is that going to happen to Malkovich, where voters are not going to know whether he's lead or supporting, and then he gets votes in both categories and not enough votes in either category, and then he just doesn't get nominated? I really do think that's why Paul Mescal got snubbed in supporting actor for Hamnet, is because he got too many votes in lead, not enough votes in supporting, but also uh, it wasn't technically too many votes in lead because he didn't get enough votes in lead to get nominated in lead. But yeah, those votes I'm saying were supposed to go to him in supporting for him to get nominated, but it didn't happen. But I'm glad that Delroy Lindo got nominated. Best Supporting Actress: Mariana Di Girolamo, Wild Horse 9; Penelope Cruz, The Invite; Sandra Hüller, Digger; Tao Okamoto, All of a Sudden; Wumi Musaku, The Social Reckoning; Penelope Cruz, The Black Ball; Parker Posey, Wild Horse 9; Scarlett Johansson, Paper Tiger; Esme Creed Miles, Sense and Sensibility; and Lily Rose Depp, Werewolf. So there is a rule now where the Oscars will allow an actor to get nominated for two different movies in the same category. So Penelope Cruz can get nominated for both The Invite and The Blackballed Supporting Actress. Right now, I don't have that happening, but I'm open to having that happen. I'm open to taking out Sandra Hüller, Tao Okamoto, or Wumi Musaku in favor of Penelope Cruz in The Blackball. But I'm not there yet. Uh, we'll see what happens. Best Supporting Actor: John Goodman, Digger; Edward Norton, The Invite; Sam Rockwell, Wild Horse 9; Steve Buscemi, Wild Horse 9; Jeremy Allen White, The Social Reckoning; Riz Ahmed, Digger; Miles Teller, Paper Tiger; Jesse Plemons, Digger; Willem Dafoe, Werewolf; and Robert Pattinson, The Odyssey. I'm thinking that he might be the most likely actor from The Odyssey to get nominated, and as opposed to Anne Hathaway. Uh, yeah, but honestly, I don't even know if I should even be predicting any actors to get nominated for the Odyssey, or consider them. I guess I'm considering Robert Pattinson. I'm not actually putting him in my five, at least not right now. Not as of this recording. Best casting: Wild Horse 9; The Black Ball; Digger; Fjord; Coward; Werewolf; Doom Part 3; Fatherland; Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma; and Disclosure Day. Original Screenplay: Wild Horse 9; Digger; Fjord; Disclosure Day; Werewolf; Fatherland; Coward; Saturn Return; Paper Tiger; and The End of Oak Street. I have Wild Horse 9 in a bunch of categories at number one. I have Wild Horse 9 winning 6 awards right now, um, just like one battle after another. um, yeah, I think people who are predicting Wild Horse 9 to win Best Picture are thinking about what just happened this past season with One Battle After Another, and they think that uh, Wild Horse 9 is going to touch on certain subject matter, and that's going to speak to the times in a certain way. And so right now, I agree with that sentiment, but we'll see if that sentiment changes over the course of the coming months. So as of right now, I will say sure. I'll go with that. McDonough has been very close to winning Best Picture in the past with Three Billboards and Banshees of Inisherin. So yeah, I mean, although both those movies were arguably top three in both those years, so I think he could win here. Even though he's already an Academy Award winner for a short film, I think he can win big screenplay, director, picture here. Best adapted screenplay: The Invite, The Black Ball, Project Hail Mary, the Black Ball, All of a Sudden, Minotaur, Doom Part 3, Toy Story 5, Julianne, Sense and Sensibility, The Social Reckoning. So when all of a sudden the Minotaur entered the chat, I was like, okay, I won't predict Toy Story 5 for adapted screenplay. But I still have it as my frontrunner for animated feature film. It is still number 1. Number 2 is Julian. Number 3 is Wildwood. Number 4 is Hoppers. Number 5 is Ray Gun. Number 6 is Hex. Number 7 is Shaun the Sheep, The Beast of Mossy Bottom. Number 7. Did I say number 6? Yeah, number 7. Number 8, Ghost. Number 9, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And number 10, Forgotten. I thought I said number 6 for Shaun the Sheep, The Beast of Mossy Bottom. But number 6 is Hexed. So yeah, I still have Toy Story 5. I already explained my reasoning in my previous Oscar nomination predictions video for the month of April, why I think it's still the frontrunner for animated feature and not Wildwood. I think as long as Julian is there, that will take away from Wildwood's narrative of winning, I think. But if Julian comes out in 2027, then maybe I might consider more. I mean, not that I'm not considering Wildwood being able to upset Toy Story 5, but I would consider it more if Julian came out in 2027. Also, I'm not considering the canned titles that came out and got hype, or at least not right now. So I'm not really predicting the canned titles right now. Not yet. Best documentary feature: Once Upon a Time in Harlem, American Doctor, When a Witness Recants, To Hold a Mountain, Nuisance Bear, Give Me the Ball, Time and Water, Everybody to Kenmure Street, Man on the Run, Birds of War. Best International Feature: The Black Ball, Spain, Coward, Belgium, All of a Sudden, Japan, Minotaur, Latvia, The Blue Trail, Brazil, Fatherland, Poland, Possible Love, South Korea, A Foggy Tale, Taiwan, We Are All Strangers, Singapore, Levitating, Indonesia. Best Film Editing: Wild Horse 9, The Black Ball, Project Hail Mary, Digger, The Invite, Fjord, Doom Part 3, Fatherland, Disclosure Day, Coward. Best Sound: Project Hail Mary, Doom Part 3, The Odyssey, The Black Ball, Coward, Disclosure Day, Digger, Werewolf, Wild Horse 9, The Social Reckoning. Yeah, The Black Ball seems like an across-the-board contender. Seems like a double-digit nominee. Seems like it's going to get double-digit nominations. I have it across the board except for supporting actress. Best Visual Effects: Project Hail Mary, Doom Part 3, The Odyssey, Disclosure Day, Avengers Doomsday, Coward, Godzilla Minus Zero, Spider-Man Brand New Day, Star Wars The Mandalorian and Grogu, and The End of Oak Street. Okay, I do not have the Black Ball here. I don't think it's going to happen. I think The Odyssey will probably happen here. And I think Disclosure Day, especially after seeing that final trailer, that new trailer that came out recently, I think that could also make visual effects. I think that's definitely making visual effects. Best Cinematography: The Black Ball, Digger, Jack of Spades. That's Bruno Delbonnel. That right there, I could see that being an ASC carryover into the Oscar nomination. So don't bet against it. Bruno Delbonnel gets nominated a lot. A lot. Fatherland, Doom Part 3, Fjord, Werewolf, Project Hail Mary, Disclosure Day, Wild Horse 9. Best Production Design: Doom Part 3, The Black Ball, The Odyssey, Project Hail Mary, Werewolf, Digger, Fatherland, Coward, Disclosure Day, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. Okay, I don't think that's going to actually happen at the Oscars. I don't think Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma is going to get any Oscar nominations, but looking at that trailer, like, those look like great sets. Those sets look great. Best costume design. I Love Boosters, The Odyssey, The Black Ball, Werewolf, Doom Part 3, Fatherland, Digger, Sense and Sensibility, The Devil Wears Prada 2, and Paper Tiger. See, I would be bullish about The Devil Wears Prada 2 if it wasn't a sequel. Okay. But I say that, and I'm nominating Doom Part 3. I think Doom Part 3 is going to be a bigger film than The Devil Wears Prada 2. That's my argument as to why I think Doom Part 3 will be the sequel to get nominated, but not Devil Wears Prada 2. I think the Academy will care more about Doom Part 3. I could be wrong, though. Makeup and hairstyling. Werewolf, I Love Boosters, Digger, Clayface, Doom Part 3, The Bride, The Devil Wears Prada 2, The Odyssey, Sense and Sensibility, and The Social Reckoning. Werewolf could get a Best Picture nomination a la Nightmare Alley-ish, sort of. I have Werewolf predicted in screenplay, so Nightmare Alley didn't get a screenplay nomination. I don't have it in cinematography, Werewolf in cinematography, but Nightmare Alley got cinematography, so it's not a one-to-one, okay? But, you know, I think Werewolf will probably be Robert Eggers' most accessible film to date, is my argument for why I think it gets a Best Picture nomination, to support the eventual makeup and hairstyling win. Best Original Score. Digger, Disclosure Day, The Black Ball, the Wild Horse 9, Wild Horse 9, Project Hail Mary, The Social Reckoning, Werewolf, The Odyssey, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma, Coward. Let me say the in each of these: The Digger, The Disclosure Day, The Wild Horse 9, The Project Hail Mary, The Werewolf, The Teenage Sex and Death at Camp. Okay, I'm done. The Coward. The Coward. that that's so funny. Best Original Song. The Black Ball. Toy Story 5. The Toy Story 5. The one and only Diane Warren. Yeah, the one and only Diane Warren. Wildwood, Hexed, Disclosure Day, The Invite, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma, The Devil Wears Prada 2, The End of Oak Street. There's a lot of those. Oh my goodness. Yeah, those are all the movies that I think are the likeliest to get a song nomination. Best animated, as of this recording, best animated short film. 1981, Cabbage Daddy, Living with a Visionary, Homemade Gatorade, Paper Trail, The Gnar of Rocks, Busybodies, Sorrow Doesn't Sleep at Night, The Bird's Placebo, and Once in a Body. Best Documentary Short Film. The Baddest Speechwriter of All, The Boys and the Bees, Still Standing, The Home of the Brave, Some Kind of Refuge, Going Sane, The Rise and Fall of the Center for Feeling Therapy, and Luigi. And finally, Best Live Action Short Film. The Oracle, Prime, Jazz Infernal, The Liars, Together Forever, Stairs, Radiant Frost, Candy Bar, The Worm, and Crisis Actor. Alright, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe, feel free to like, and if you do so, that'll be greatly appreciated. And until next time, Shalom.